Hello dearest ones. In this video, I'll speak about discomfort. That eerie sense of not feeling alright that refuses to subside when you are in a discussion at work or with a certain person you know in life, or while visiting a place you weren't looking forward to. The constant nag inside of you telling you all's not well. That discomfort. Of course, this is different than the discomfort you must embrace when attempting something new, like ditching your space of comfort, keeping aside your fear and apprehension to explore the unknown. This is not that. This is that pure unease you feel in your body when carrying out the routine tasks you have been doing since long, perhaps months or even years. Of course, you will experience discomfort in breaking the mold, attempting to choose yourself over anything or anyone else, not abandoning yourself anymore. That will be there. But that's for another video. The discomfort you experience is so strong, you almost hear it ask you abandon this tougher time, disappear immediately to come back never, and pretend that that never happened. For the longest time, you intellectualized it under different labels: Monday blues, depression, mood, that person, certain place. When you discussed with your friends, co-workers, they rushed you to label it as you have been doing yourself till now. They told you to live with it and that in time it will disappear. Well, after all, they too follow the common script, so they know no better. Well, I'm here to tell you, it won't. It does not disappear with passage of time. If at all, it grows. It throws your body out of balance, making you question your reality, the one you've been living in name of life till now. One of the two things happen. You either continue to live in discomfort, making it a part of your lifestyle until it's affected your well-being, both mentally and physiologically, or you take a pause to look inwards. And if you're someone as self-aware as me, you will soon question everything: people, their perception, earning a living how we do, workplace culture, relationships, regulations forced upon us by the society, until you experience a full-blown crisis. This feeling of intense unease is trying to communicate with you. Don't disregard its voice till it takes the form of a disease or a feud. The society around is so confined. The society around is so confined in its structure because its only function is to keep a certain set of culture alive. It allows no space for you to take a pause or introspect, much less question. If you're any different than what is expected, then you are in the wrong. Because the only expectation of you is to file in muted. Ever wondered why for some post-retirement life feels empty? Because suddenly there's no one to command. All this while, they were so used to getting dictated that freedom feels unknown and threatening. This is why for some, losing their loved one brought about a halt in their life, as though complete life was lost. This is because no other idea outside of that association was conceived ever. The only version that ever existed of the person experiencing loss was with the loved one. And now, with that loved one gone, what remained is loss of identity. Because one was never created in the first place. No one ever told you that you matter and that your existence matters outside of the tagged associations that we call relationships. That your first duty is to yourself instead of fulfilling expectations of those associated with you. In fact, no one tells you that relationships are arrangements in form of human associations with vested interests, and that you hold value being yourself without and outside of all associations. And if you feel or think any different, then, well, you are the one who's different. Not anymore. This once, you're absolutely alright to not feel alright. Nothing's wrong with you. Nothing ever was. Turn inwards, tune into the frequency, and pick your path. Live in coherence. This is your sign. My original plan was to paint a thatched roof with a dry grass structured hut with all dried leaves and twigs around the house, with trees as well with dry leaves, but changed midway and instead introduced a bit of green in the grass. The hut was mud hut, and the trees, it has fall colors but not apparently barren or neglected. The house is, or the hut is desolated, of course. The feeling or the essence is still there in the hut's image, or so I feel. But from straw hut, it's now a mud hut. No complaints. Maybe I'll paint that some other time. When? Well, let's see. Thank you for watching.